Hey y'all! Welcome back to another video in my Declutter series. This is Declutter, Inventory, and Swatching. I'm swatching my entire collection regardless of whether or not it's something I'm going to keep. I swatch everything because you never know if the texture of something has changed. So these are all of my single eyeshadows, and by that I mean they don't fit into magnetic pans or palettes. They're products that are crushy and glittery and just don't stay together very well, so they need to be self-contained. Let's actually start with these two because part of these are going to be decluttered. These are the Auric Smoke Reflect. One of these was a holiday in Disrupt, and then Temper was permanent. I don't know if they've changed the color families, mostly because I don't like these. This creamy whipped texture just does not do it for me. And I am as prepared can be to get rid of these, or at least to depot the shadows in the top and get rid of the creams because they are kind of bulky. I mean, tell me that shade's not gorgeous, but it's just murky. And it's not murky in that really fun, sexy way. It's murky in the like, it doesn't build up to be the color that I want it to be. I am going to get rid of both of the creams, but before I do that, I want to depot the toppers. And that shouldn't be too hard. I just need to melt the plastic under here, heat it up to the point where this will just pop out. And I'll do that in another video. I will show y'all how I depot stuff like this because I love depotting makeup. I really do. It's one of my favorite things. So being a devotee of Hannah Louise Poston, I was looking at the Tom Ford cream and powders, and I'm glad I didn't spend $65 on one of these just to find out I don't like the formula. Yeah, let's focus on these four. Let's go with like all of the luxury powders. So I have two of the Hourglass Scattered Lights. This is the newest one to my collection in Rapture. And actually, this reminds me a lot of Macaroon from JD Glow. But it's not as bright. It's a little bit more sheer. It's a little bit more tempered, if you will. And then the other Hourglass Scattered Lights that I have is Ray. And Ray is just such a weird color. In some lights, it looks purple. In other light, it looks brown. On my hand, it looks brown. But when I put it on my eyes, it looks like my perfect, just grubby eyelid shade. I don't know how it works, but it is perfect in all of its complexities. And these two, so it should be known that these two and the Scattered Lights in Rapture, I got all three of these used for a deep discount. And I'm going to do a video on how to purchase makeup secondhand. But not right now. That'll go up later. But let's talk about these VB because they're special. They're really pretty. They're a little hard to use, admittedly. So here we have Tea Rose, and I'm going to put Tea Rose right next to Ray so that we can see the difference. So Tea Rose has more glitter, and it's a little bit more pink slash cool toned, whereas Ray has more orange and more brown. But I like them both. I like them both, and they can both stay. This is VB Mink. And this is another one of those weird shades. It's so grubby, and you can put it on really built up and get this dungeon, or you can just put it on very lightly and then you get some of that blue brown. It's again one of those things that is complex and weird and beautiful. And look what you get as you shear it out. You get this shine that just, oh, I love it. I love it. Needless to say, all of these are staying. I don't know why I started swatching everything on the back of my hand. I guess we're just going to swatch up the back of my arm. Let's do a couple liquids. This is Cressida from Lisa Eldridge. When I first got this, it left me so puzzled. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was supposed to be a densely packed eyeshadow. I didn't know if it was supposed to be just a wash of shimmer. But here's the deal. I bought this early in the year and it's had some time to dry out. And as it's dried out a bit, it's really concentrated into this beautiful formula. That being said, I have not worn this on my eyes in quite some time. I did put it on over a look last week, but I didn't set it up for its best success. So I'll play with this again. I think it's gotten to the formula point where I really like it, where the formula has changed and it's not as wet or slippy. It's a little more concentrated and a little thicker. This little baby is from Hindash. It's the only one of his color fluids that he's put out in a shimmer, and it's called Boy Tears. I mean, and it's hard to beat. So that right there is Boy Tears. Next to Cressida, you can see it's more peach, and it's got the silver glitter that makes it so much shinier and gives it so much more, I don't know how to describe it. It's got more presence. I definitely think that this one has more presence and it's easier, it's always been easier to work with. I love this. It's one of those that I toss in my makeup bag in case of emergency. All right, we're just gonna bring the rest of these out because there's only 5 of them. I don't really collect this thing unless it's very high performing, unless it's something I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of, or it's something that I'm gonna get a specific use out of. That's important. Here we have Lithium from Urban Decay, and I feel like this is going to be similar to one of the other shadows, but I don't care because again, it's got that undertone that is like the silver glitter in there is not as bright, which I like. It gives it more twinkling effect instead of a full shine. I will also be depotting this because I don't think of it in this little clear package. I like stuff like that where I can move the pan around. And I've done this to other Urban Decay eyeshadows and it's pretty easy. So I will do that in my depotting video, which will be coming, I don't know, eventually. So Flower Beauty makes these really beautiful Chrome Crush single eyeshadows. So this is in the shade Amber, I believe. Yeah, it's not written on the bottom. It's on the side, this tiny little sticker. Yeah, that's Amber. I mean, you could almost compare it to the Scattered Lights. I don't know that you could really compare it to Tea Rose. It doesn't have as much glitter. However, it's a really good comparable shade to the Scattered Lights in Rapture. And it's just a really beautiful, easy to use one and done formula. For a drugstore pot like this, I think it's really well executed. Speaking of drugstore, this one's from Ulta Beauty, and you have to be careful with this. Otherwise, you're going to be a sparkly, flaky goblin. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that has to be the vibe you're going for. I don't remember what this is called. Lustrous Foil Eyeshadow. I will check and see, and I will leave a comment down below. This is in Rose Gold Leaf. And again, it's one of those that you have to be prepared to be messy. You either have to accept that you're going to have fallout or do your eyes first and pack them with glitter glue. And just be really careful because it's a lot like my my copacetic formula where it's just flaky and textured and it's got a lot of shine. It's got a lot of shine. If you want your eyes to be seen from space, this is a good product for that. And it's Ulta, so I want to say it's less than like 10 bucks. The last 2 we have to talk about are Phytosurgents. This is one that I'm still getting to know and getting to understand. And I think it might be, I don't know. Let's swatch it and we'll get a good look. Yeah, I realize trying to spread these on the side of my arm, like it looks like a color that should work for me. I have a hard time with it. I'm going to hang on to it. I'm going to keep working with it. It feels like it might be getting ready to go off. This formula is super waxy and you can rub your finger in there and feel like you're not picking up any product. And then when you look at your finger, it's covered. Now it's just not laying down the way I want it to. And the sparkles are very patchy. I just don't know. I just don't know how I feel about this one. However, this one, this is Astral Aura. This is their Flash Fluorescence eyeshadow formula. This has become my baby. It really has. Every time I do my eyeshadow, I top it off with a little bit of this. Oh, that's interesting. This one doesn't lay down the way that Defiant Dahlia does either. Let's keep in mind, I'm swatching on my arm. I'm not really using a brush. So there you go. There's Astral Aura and Defiant Dahlia and the rest of them. So I'm not decluttering anything from this group today because they all have reasons to stay. I have reasons to keep them all. But just look at how fun and pretty that is. I feel like Thanos with the power stones. All right, so that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope you're having a good day and you're taking care of yourself so that you can take care of each other. And I will see y'all later. Bye, friends.